crafters, welcome into Guys Craft 2. My name is John, and man, happy Sunday afternoon, right? It is just hot and just no use doing anything but being in the sewing studio, right? I mean, just makes sense to try to find some coolness somewhere. I have worked my little AC unit to death, I think, this weekend. But you know what it is. And I do love Arizona. Yeah, I like everything about the state, other than the fact I really wish we had a beach, but I don't. And so that's not going to change. But I definitely have to put up with the summers if I want to enjoy the mild winter. So we smile and just get through it. I know our local utility must appreciate this time of year. I was really excited. The last bill I got was still like right at $100 or so, but we'll make up for it this month. So they'll get caught up. So I worry about their for profit and record setting expectations, especially around the fact that they've raised our rates twice in the last 18 months and just put in for another rate increase. So I guess some things just never stop. So welcome in. If you're new to the channel, thanks for being here. Our subscriber count keeps going up, down, up, down. It's been crazy the last couple of weeks, so not sure what's going on with that. Um, but at the same time, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to the channel, it doesn't get much better than this. This is me. This is what we do. And this is Sunday afternoon in Phoenix, Arizona. So welcome in, Miss Joydy. She was #1 in the chat today. Thanks for being here. There's Inez. Welcome in, Inez. Always good to see you. Joydy says, I'll be right back. I have to grab a snack. I bet she's already got her snack and back. Inez says, I'm working on binding a quilt for a Christmas gift. How awesome is that? Russ is in the house. Thanks, Russ, for being on this afternoon. He says he hopes everyone's having a groovy Sunday afternoon. I won't tell anyone. I have this week off. No, you just had last Monday off to go take a long arm class. Must be nice. Belunas from Tucson is here. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. She says, I'm in Albuquerque to have the annual done on the balloon. Oh, I bet that's fun. Hot air balloon. Balloon says yes. I will tell you, growing up in Kentucky, of course, I grew up next to the Derby. I grew up in Louisville. And yes, that's why you say it is Louisville. And so, grew up around a lot of the Kentucky, Derby, obviously. And we had the chow wagon, we had all that kind of stuff. But one of the most fascinating things to go see was the great balloon race that they had every year. And you could literally, back in the day, actually walk out, be right next to the balloons as they were inflating them. And I mean, it was just probably hundreds. I don't know exactly how many balloons it was back in the day, but I remember taking my kids. And, two of the balloons that I still remember vividly are Early Times bourbon. And so it looked just like the Early Times bottle. And the other was, who was the other one? Oh, Mr. Peanut from Planters Peanuts. That was a cool one. And there's a lot of other ones, but those two are the ones that just jumped to mind. So I bet she's having fun. I have not ever been to New Mexico, so I definitely would like to get to New Mexico sometime. Oh, hey, Brian. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Jordy says, I hope Russ is going to do some fun things. Russ always does fun things. He always has his hand in something. Hey, Charlotte. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Welcome in. There's Alex, living with MS. Thanks for being here this afternoon. I hope things are going well for you. She's been knocking out some videos I see. Yesterday was just kind of a blur, I will tell you. I had YouTube running in the background, but that was about as good as it got. Hey, Sally, welcome in. Hopefully she's having a little bit cooler weather in California. Inez says she has the beach. We could share the winter. Amen, girl. I tell you. Mama Jan's in. Thanks for being here, Mama Jan. We got to spend some time with her yesterday. Zaza's here. Hey, Zaza. Who else? Lord, I am way behind on chat, guys. You all have just blown the chat up. Jody says, don't be jealous. I'm always a little jealous of different things, but I have a good life. Katrina's here. Hey, Katrina, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Zazalita. I always like when Jody says that. She always points that out. All right. Oh, Alex says her grandmother lived just blocks from the walking distance to the track. How cool is that? Churchill Downs is now in an interesting part of Louisville, but it is what it is. All right. So I think I've caught up. I am working on finishing out this fruit cake quilt from, I don't even know who the pattern is by, but I don't have it sitting here, so it's not going to matter. So we won't be sharing some of those specifics today. No, I don't. Oh well. So I do want to knock this out this afternoon. That's one of the things I wanted to get done. It's one of my Christmas in July's project. Yesterday was just crazy. We had what did we do yesterday? Oh, I had ladies for lunch yesterday. So we had ladies lunch, and I wanted to try out some things for the quilt retreat since we will be doing some of the catering and cooking. And so we had fun yesterday and had some of the amazing women over from our quilt guild club, and so that was really nice. And we had tossed salad, we had big fruit platter, on, we had black beans, Mexican street corn, and then Mexican rice, and then we had grilled fajitas. And so I think everybody liked it. I think it seemed to go over very well. So that is probably one of the meals that we will have at Quilt Retreat um, over New Year's Eve. So trying to figure out some of those things. I did start working on the men's retreat and trying to finish out some details there so I can get the dates are out on the website, but started working on some things today, like probably having a barbecue for the guys because it has a pool and all those fun things. And that time of May usually can be pretty special and dynamic in the Phoenix area. So we'll see how that goes. But now I got to work on more brunch ideas for the retreat. But I am sure, guys, I only have like 5 months. It's like, it's just hard to believe. And then working full time and keeping up with everything else and then wanting to craft and do some things. And I want to get Dollar Tree because I've got a lot of stuff that I want to make for the fall and for the holidays. And I think Dollar Tree is starting to get a lot of their goodies in. And the problem is, if you don't get there, you know, fairly quick, you can potentially not get what you need or what you want. And I want to be able to knock some of that out. I may actually do a couple of videos around that. I have started making ribbon wreaths, which are really cool. A whole lot easier than doing the deco mesh sometimes. Plus, I just wanted something different. So I'm working on knocking a few of those out, and I will maybe post a video soon about that. If you're not interested in some of the other crafts and things that I do work on, I always try to put that in the title. I won't do those live, so they would be recorded, and it'll say in the title that I'm working on something other than quilting. So if you're not interested in it, um, just don't drop in. But then if you'd like some different home decor ideas or that, then you might want to stop in and just see kind of what John's working on. I don't seem to have as much time to do that now that I've gotten into quilting. I tell you what, quilting definitely is addictive, and it does take. It just takes all your time and focus. It's just crazy. I'm like, wow, I had no idea how much time it would take, how much focus it would take, and I can tell you, I certainly had no idea how much money it would take. And I still laugh at all these crazy women that before I really got started in talking to them, and they all had multiple sewing machines and all this equipment. And now I'm as bad, if not worse, than most of them. So I remember going, why would you ever need more than one sewing machine? So in this room alone, I have 5 machines. So it's just, and some days I actually make multiple machines in here work because I do enjoy when I have the embroidery machines working, that while they're working, I can actually come over and sew and knock out some stuff. So I do try to keep them going. I'm not overly thrilled with this quilt and this pattern as it turned out. And then I ended up moving and turning a couple of the things wrong. And I thought, you know what? At this point, this is probably going to be a charity quilt. Um, and we're just going to get this done. Or it may end up a present for someone in the family. But since I have very little family, it won't be, it's not too many choices, right? It's pretty much my daughter or my niece, because that's all the family that I have that wants to associate and have anything to do with me, and that's okay too. I'm kind of choosy on who I want to be around and what I want to know and what I want to do as well. So it is all good. All right, let's see if I can get this turned the right way. Yeah, it's okay. We'll do it that way. All right. Let's go back to chat. Come on, guys. Lord, where are we today? Trina says it's been calmer week now that the kids have gone home. I can only imagine. And it's probably quiet, and you're probably missing that, just some of that chaos too. I know I did getting back from the beach. I mean, I was glad to be home, and I so much love being with the grandkids and that, and I kind of missed it. But yeah, I'm such a routine person. I missed my routine for sure. Sally said it is finally a little bit cooler. It was down in Orange County Friday. Look at her. She said it was lovely. She's killing me. Wasn't cooler here, Katrina says. Feels like it's above 105 this week. I'm staying inside. Girl, I don't blame you. I would if I could. Um, so as I said, it's been hot here this week, but John would probably find a coat in the 70s. I have to admit, I'm much happier in the 80s, low 80s. I can handle the 70s, but at 70s, I start putting sweatshirts and that on, so it's kind of crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Brittany says, I need to work on a quick quilt for a cancer patient this week. She just had a baby boy. He's 3 weeks old and she was diagnosed. Oh my gosh, how sad to be, right, for such an exciting time in her life and so much going on. And then to have that on, to deal with and all the emotions. I mean, Lord, that poor lady's emotions are everywhere, right? So a new baby, new joy, new, right, sleep pattern and everything else. And then have that. Oh, um, Zaza says we have no AC in Scotland and humidity has been over 95%, which isn't nice. No, that's awful. It's wet and sticky all the time. I can't imagine. Katrina says the family are missionaries in Mexico and they're hoping to go back before the end of the year. Well, tell you what, they have some big hearts if they can do that. How crazy. Um, Katrina's go scrounge around for fabric in the closet. Yes, I actually got all my fabric organized this week. So I had bought some drawers to put under the long arm machine, and I just never had time to get to it to actually organize it and put it together. So I've got that done. Now I've got to work on. I cut quilts out today, some more fabric that I want to work on. So I cut some of that out today for me. Then I actually had Etsy orders I needed to get out, so I had to deal with that. And then would really like. Um, I need to finish getting the 3 yard quilts and other things on the website and take some pictures. And but, I tell you guys, it's just when you work full time and everything else, and try to have a life and try to have, it's like, wow. It's funny. People at work go, but you never stop. You're always going. You always have something going. And it's like, well, I do because I'm just that hyper. I've always been that way. But at the same time, I am realizing that I am not quite the spring chicken I was. And does sometimes catch up with me. I do miss, I love my job, love my company. They're so good to us. With the exception of my last company, I did have 5 weeks vacation. And I will tell you, I am certainly missing having the 5 weeks vacation and trying to keep up with all of that. But other than that, and I'm fortunate because I still get to work from home some. So, but I do have to go in the office tomorrow. So, which here in Phoenix, actually, knock wood, Mondays are not too bad for traffic. So I'd rather go in on Monday and then I typically stay home on Tuesday. But tell you what, it's just there's so much going on, so much to do, and all our kids are going back to school. And I'm like, it's July. How is it? All of these kids, all these school districts are going back already, and especially out here, right? Because it's not like we have to worry about the number of snow days that they could potentially have this year. They're not going to have snow days, but a lot of the folks I work with, their kids, some of them went back last week, and a majority of them are starting this week. It's like, great. So there's all that traffic coming. So yeah, I've got to deal with school buses and all that once I get out of the compound. And then won't be long. ASU will be back in session. So once ASU comes back, then it's just the countdown to all them snowbirds that come back. And you know what? We love the snowbirds. We love the fact that they contribute to our economy. And at the same time, they could just learn to drive and do a few other things, it wouldn't be so bad. But crazy nowadays. Let's see. I only have 2 more rows. I may actually get this done today, and I'll show y'all what I've cut and what I've gotten ready. I had to go buy another 3 yard quilt book because, of course, I'm watching YouTube, and Donna popped on and was showing how she changed up one of the 3 yard quilt patterns and blah, blah, blah. And then she told us what book it was in, and I went and looked, and I have like literally, I think almost every book, Fabric Cafe, but of course that was one I didn't have, and of course that was the one I wanted to do. So I had to wait for that book to arrive, which it did yesterday. So, anyways, now I've got that to work on. All right, let's see. Dasa says, John, the important thing is to have a good relationship with your kids. And I totally agree. My daughter and I could not be any closer. She is an absolute sweetheart, and love her to death. In fact, I actually talked to her today. So I am very, very fortunate to have her. My son takes spells, and that's all good too. He's in the military, so sometimes dealing with just military, right? Travel and all that has made it hard. We've always had a very good, very strong relationship. But it did take a little adjustment for me to get used to him being out of country and back in, just all that stuff. But now the punk tells me he's got 2 years to retire. Like, dude, you can't retire before your father. You have to fake it or do something. But of course, he'll work. I mean, it's not like that pension's going to be enough for him to live on at his age. But how proud I am of him that he's got that locked in. He's really accomplished that for himself. And he's been in the Air Force, and he loves the Air Force. I think was absolutely the right match for him, and overall was the right decision. But I do hate that it didn't damage our relationship. It just made our relationship different, just because of all the travel things and all that. But I think we'll see that settle down in the next couple of years as he becomes a civilian again, and we'll probably have more time together to do more things. So he did come see me this year, which was pretty spectacular. We always enjoy seeing him. He's got a new girlfriend that he brought her, so that was pretty awesome. So again, right, day by day. Um, so funny, the things that people get hung up on, and it's like, guys, life's too short. That's why I make some of the choices and the decisions I've made because I'm not going to have negative in my life. I'm not going to deal with stupid anymore. I'm going to take care of John and do what makes sense for John. And beyond that, it's not going to happen. Ooh. So John cut this one too short. Oh my gosh, guys, really? So I forgot to put the last one on here. Oh no. So, all right. So we'll be using the seam ripper for a few minutes. Let me see if I can get that out. I can sew the other one on instead. I don't want to try to add during a live. Do I really want to try to add that on? I don't even know if I have one that I can add. So let me look real quick. No, I don't have one convenient. All right, so I won't get this quilt finished today, but we're getting close. All right, let me go back to my mouses over here. Jody says I should drink some red wine to warm up my blood. Yesterday, we actually had margaritas out of the Jimmy Buffett margarita maker. And I use the Costco premix because it just makes life simpler. And so that turned out really well yesterday. I think most of the women seem to like that and enjoy that chose to partake. Not everyone did, and that's okay. That's why we had choices on the menu yesterday. Okay, so I just ripped that. That's not coming out easily. All right, so let me set that aside and we'll focus on that later. What else we got going on? Ryan says warm red to warm it up and white to cool it down. Tell you what, y'all killing me. Zazalita, True Brian, Hygiene. Oh, Inez says her kids, the kids over there, don't go back until September. I've never seen July start dates unless they're doing like year-round school, but they're not even doing that necessarily. Jordy says, I haven't seen one kid playing outside since school. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. Baluna says she has all the Fabric Cafe books. Yeah, let me show you what I'm working on. So that's something we can talk about. Jeannie's here. Hey, Jeannie, thanks for being here this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Look, Jordy says, I have several books too, but I don't have, of course, the one I want. Oh, thanks, Zaza. I appreciate that. I like the fabrics as well. I think they turned out just right for me. Oh, look, so blessed by Jess. She says, long time no see. I hope you're doing well at Guys Craft 2. Thank you so much, Jess. It's good to see you. Welcome in. See, like everybody saying hi to Jess. See, we do miss you when you're not here. Sally says, when I lived in Texas, the kids went to school early August. Asked why I was in California, we'd start in September. The answer was because it was too hot in June. Like August isn't hotter? How crazy, right? So I realized I had bought this at the beach and then had to hide it. So it is just a simple pattern or panel. And my son in law, who is a sergeant with the group back in Virginia, I always have a hard time finding something for him quilt wise and that. So I was really excited that I saw this panel. So I want to get this put together. I may look at Villa Rosa because I know they've got several panels and suggestions on how to, what to do with them and that. Because I don't want to just put borders on it. I just feel like that's kind of a cop out, but we'll see because it's now getting late July, right? And it means I'm going to end up having to do, if I want this to be a Christmas gift, it means John's going to have to kind of get in gear. And I'm not sure that John wants to get in gear. So we'll get it all figured out, but we'll see. Did work on that. I did start cutting out. Um, I decided to make a potato chip quilt, and I wanted to do it out of a specific um, jelly roll. So I actually found a Halloween jelly roll that I really liked. So I got all the chips cut out today, and that's what I've been working on. And I like that this one didn't have the bright oranges. It had that almost washed out looking orange. Um, back in, back in my neck of the woods, we call that Tennessee orange. But I really kind of liked that, and so we ended up. I put that together, and I'm actually going to use for the center. I wanted just one center that would be the same, and I found this, which is actually probably a little bit more Halloweeny than the fact the jelly roll turned out to be, but that's all good. I really do like this, but I will tell you, I have used my brush, the roller brush in that lint brush. And I am still, I mean, like I have just those little pieces everywhere. I'm like, I think I'm done with jelly rolls. I'm not sure that I'm ever in the mood to be bothered with jelly rolls again. I may end up having to do I may end up just cutting my own 2.5-inch strips from now on, but I don't know that I ever want to buy another jelly roll. I'm so tired of seeing all of this stuff just everywhere that it's like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So I did get that cut out. And then what else did I work on? At that panel, I had that panel. Oh, what did I do? Oh, here it is. So this is the Fabric Cafe book that I had to order was the 3-yard quilts on the double because I did not have that one, believe it or not. And then the quilt that she did that really just kind of stood out to me is this one called Stellar. And I really liked that pattern. And plus, again, I haven't done a lot of work with half square triangles and all that. So I got that because I thought that would be cool to work on. And then I had bought this fabric last year and I really wanted to kind of bring some focus into this fabric. So this is called, oh man, come on. Huh. I think it's called Dasher, but I don't remember. But anyways, that's what I'm going to use for the big squares. That's what I'm going to use as the focal fabric. And then for the white, I am planning to use this companion piece, which has all the reindeer's names on it. And then this is the other companion piece that I really liked. And I like this red because it's more of like that barn red. So I think it'll be really cute. I decided, even though this technically is a directional fabric, that I'm ignoring that. I'm not worrying about directions because the nice thing is on the reindeer names, they've got the names going in every direction in that. And I think that'll be cool. So I did get all of that cut literally right before the live. So that is something that I hope to start on this week. So maybe while we're sitting here, I can actually start on the potato chip quilt and see if I can get one of these stitched out today. How cool would that be? Let's see what that's going to look like. Because I do think that would be fun. And now I just got to figure out how I want to pattern these out. And because there's just so much right going on, so much to do, and it's kind of crazy. But I do think it turned out really kind of neat. So I'm anxious to see how that looks. And then I can show you some more of these fabrics that I'm working with. So I think that'll be fun. I'm just going to move that out of the way. I can't believe I forgot to put the last row on that quilt. So obviously that will be something I'll be working on later. All right, so goodness, every time I move something, it's somebody else I want to move. Let's see what else. Ines says you were busy cutting. I was. I was very busy cutting today, I can tell you. Um, Katie says you all hit the thumbs up. Oh, look at her. Hey, Katie, welcome in. Thanks for being here. I don't know how you have any time going on. Every time I turn YouTube on, it seems like you've got something else going on. You have been crazy busy, and we still need to get together, and we will make that happen soon, I hope. And but I tell you, girl, it's seems like you've got stuff everywhere happening right now, and then doing that 12 hours. Goodness gracious, how exciting and how exhausting too. I think that would just really take its toll on me. But I think that's so cool that you were able to put that together and hopefully pull that off. So I will probably have to go back and watch some of the replays because I haven't had a chance to really sit down and look at any of that. But I will. I see. It's actually coming together pretty interesting, more so than I thought it would. The fabric choices in here are just kind of crazy. I was I have to say I was a little disappointed as I opened this jelly roll and started fooling with it. It's like, not quite what I had hoped and envisioned, but at the same time, it's like, it is what it is, and I'm not going to go back and try to find others in that because at the end of the day, guys, I probably do way too many Halloween quilts to begin with, so that's okay. Let's see if we can knock one of these out maybe while we're live tonight. How cool would that be? I can't believe fall is almost here. I mean, I know we've still got plenty of hot and summer left, but it's like, I have been watching QVC this weekend because it's Christmas in July on there. I typically order certain things at Christmas in July, and crazy enough, I had missed ordering a few things that I typically have for Christmas for my Christmas parties and that. So I was able to catch up and get that done this weekend. So that was pretty good because it just it does make a difference, and I've gotten so used to having certain things at my parties and that. And then I thought, okay, so I need that candy, I need this. And the sad thing is, like, really, QVC, although I think they can be expensive and a pain at times, actually has some of the best bargains when it comes to certain things. But I will tell you, their food prices have gotten crazy. I used to order like Philly cheesesteak stuff and steaks and a few things from them, and I can't afford them anymore. It's like, guys, you all just went crazy. Um, I may not have a fixed income, but I certainly don't have an unlimited income, right? So that didn't happen this year. So we'll see. I am finger pressing these because I am too lazy to open the drawer behind me and pull out the wool mat and all of that. Plus, I really would just like to get one done to kind of see what it's going to look like and even if I'm going to like it. Because I've not done a potato chip quilt, which I guess I'm about the only one in the world that hasn't, but I knew that. So we'll see how these come out. And if I do another one, I have no idea. But I had seen this, seen one of the ladies on YouTube working on this last week and actually saved it and thought, you know what, that might be fun to just knock out. And then I realized, like, dude, the last thing you need is another Halloween quilt. You have so many Halloween quilts now. I actually got my Halloween, I got out my collection of quilts this week along with my table runners and all that. so we could start going through them so we could decide what we want to keep, what we're gifting, what we're donating, and actually get some on the Etsy site to sell. Because the cool thing is, if I sell some of these on the Etsy site, then I have more money to go buy more fabric. And we all know you can never have too much fabric. It's just one of those things. It's not possible to have too much fabric. If you don't believe me, Joydy's on here, and Joydy will tell you you can never have too much fabric. So we'll see. But it is kind of been fun with Christmas in July, and it's hard to believe that that is just about over. I will say, last night we were going to watch a new Hallmark show on Hallmark Plus, and it's Hallmark Christmas Cruise. And I was so excited, so super psyched to watch it. I only find out that all it is about these people that are big Christmas folks and like Hallmark and that, and they sign up to go on this cruise, and everybody on the cruise is just they're just normal people, right? So I was thinking it's going to be this big love story and blah 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 and all this stuff for Hallmark and like this new series, and it's not. It's just kind of a reality show of showing Hallmark sponsored this Christmas at Seas cruise on Norwegian Cruise Line and blah. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, no, I already did the Christmas experience in Kansas City last year, so watching other people just, it's like that's not what I anticipated. So ended up turning that off, and we went back to Supernatural. We have decided we want to watch the entire series of Supernatural because I never have. My partner has only watched like the first season, so kind of getting into that. Just kind of funny because I'm not necessarily, definitely not a horror that kind of guy, uh, but it's like something different and something regular to watch. And so that will keep us occupied for a while, considering that there are 15 seasons. It's like, wow, that one's going to go on for a while. So that's all good. Hey, this actually came together pretty quick. So I might actually be able to show you one block tonight. I'm excited about that. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna be happy with this. Not that I needed another Halloween quilt. It's like, guys, but I just absolutely love how. I think it's because I like purple so much in that. So, and especially you do the purples and the blacks with some of it's like I think I just like the Halloween colors. Although I have no idea. We are actually going to a Halloween party this year. In the past, I've typically hosted them, and one of our friends really wanted to have the party, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Because after I thought about the fact, by the time I put out food, liquor, and everything else, and then have to clean the house on top of it, I thought, you know what, dude, I'm not fighting anyone that wants to stand up and host and do some things. So I am good to come to your house. So that is what we're going to do for Halloween. Okay, I got to move this around. So we'll see how that works out. But kind of anxious to, but we can't determine what our Halloween costume is going to be. And Lord knows I got to have a Halloween costume, and it's got to be a couple's costume, and it's got to be something fun. So we'll see. I have, I've been on HalloweenCostumes.com several times, and it's like very disappointing. Like they just don't have anything that resonates with me, and it's like, I gotta get this done because I know if I don't order it soon, you won't get what you want or they won't have your size and blah blah blah. So definitely need to get that done. So we will figure that out soon, I hope. That goes that way, that one goes that way. Okay. I see what else is going on, guys. I could almost open Sally says I could almost open my own store with fabric, still buy what I see, what I like. Yeah, I do too, girlfriend. And worse. So this weekend was 35th, our big store's Black Bag. I did not go to Black Bag this year. I just didn't, or this month. I just didn't have time to get there. Friday work was crazy, so sometimes I can run over at lunch, but that didn't happen this week. And then hosting the ladies in it yesterday, I just knew I wasn't going to have time, so I ended up missing it. But I didn't feel bad because next weekend is Christmas in July, their big Christmas sale. I'm like, and we were supposed to go to the park home, but instead we'll probably end up going to Christmas in July because I want to, I can't afford to miss out on anything. And I know they'll have fabric on sale. Bill's Stash is what they call it. They typically run that $5 a yard, I think, during Christmas in July. And they put a lot of good fabric in there. I mean, it's just, you know, end bolts and that, right? So it's all quilting good fabric. It's just been around. They're just wanting to get rid of it. And that's fine. Feel like I should do my part to stimulate the economy, to help them out. And, if that means I got to take some of that fabric off their hands to, help them be successful, I can do that as well. So, Sally girl, I feel you. I understand. Friday, I think we got 5 new bolts of fabric. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I should quit buying bolts, right? It's just, maybe get to be a little much. But yet then I had orders come in for several yards this weekend. I was like, okay, so I'm not the only one still addicted to fabric. All right. So I got the first one done. So I think this is going to be really cool. It is just all over the place, but I kind of like that. So that is the first block, guys. So that is what the potato chip quilt for me is going to look like. Look at those oranges, how they really pop. And I don't have as many oranges. They weren't overly generous in the jelly roll with the orange or the yellow, so that's going to be kind of crazy. But I don't know. I kind of like this. It's the first time I've done anything like this. I'm trying to get away from doing like all this straight stitching stuff. But when I saw this pop up on the feed the other day, I was like, oh, that would really be cool to do. Maybe I'll do a potato chip quilt. So I say that, and then I've got that one sitting there. I still have this Go tumbler that I cut out forever ago. So I've got this one cut, and I have yet to put that one together. And then what else do I have? Oh, and I've got this one cut, and that is all in cat fabric. It is really cute, and it's got fish bones and all that. And I've yet to put that together. So it's like, oh my gosh. So there is just so much there. It's just you just don't realize sometimes what's out there, what's available, and what's going on. But we shall see. All right, let's see what pile I took that from that. Okay. Let me see if I can knock another one of these out. That might be kind of cool. So, because I'm disappointed I'm not going to get the Christmas one finished. I can't believe I did that. I just ironed that, had it all ready so it would be good to go tonight and get that one done. But it is what it is. Oh yeah, I kind of like this because this is to me this is I forgot what they call this, but it's more it's not as can't think of the word. It's not as Halloweeny as I thought it would be. So I think it definitely needed the squares in the center to help that get captured in that. Tonight is beef tips for dinner. We have had that before, so it's an amazing recipe with mushrooms in that he makes from scratch. So I'm anxious for that tonight. See how that turns out and get that going. All right, guys, I'll check the chat in just a second. Oh, and I did want to do some other fun things. Let's see. Jody says she can't stop herself either from buying fabric. I know, right? Oh, Alex says season 16 of Supernatural starts October 31st. I'm really hoping we're not ready for season 16, although we're in the middle of season 2. I do watch about 2 shows every night. Oh, Brian is going on a shop hop road trip. I would be very anxious to hear what you think and where that is and what all you see. I have yet to do a shop hop. So we do have them obviously in Phoenix and out and about. I've never signed up. I know you can get your card and get stamps and all kinds of stuff. And but the problem is, it's really kind of hard because you can't do it necessarily just on the weekend. Um, so I just haven't partook. But if somebody wanted me to and encouraged me a little bit, I would probably be right there with them. The issue is, like with the quilt club, since they're all retired, most of them would go during the week. So it doesn't, so again, I already don't have enough vacation to get everything done I need to. So um, that makes it tough for me. And then I tell you what, too, my weekends are so full. There's so much going on and so much happening. It's like, need to get it all figured out. But one day I will. So, would probably help if I could just narrow my focus down to one or two things, but that's probably not going to happen. So let's not even act like that's on a realm of possibility for us, right? So who knows? We'll see what happens. All right, maybe do this with these two. Jen says better late than never. Hey, Jen. Oh, look at Inez. My New Year's resolution was not to buy any fabric so far in 25, and she's held to that. I am impressed. That is amazing. It's funny. I was talking to my niece this morning. She was telling me that I guess she saw it on TikTok somewhere. So you're supposed to commit to 90 days or between now and the end of the year or whatever, but you're not supposed to buy any retail stuff, um, any new retail items. You're supposed to shop all Goodwills or DAVs and all the secondhand stores because it's better for the environment. All these different reasons, but it's also a bit cost saving. And she said that worked until she got to the makeup, and then she realized she needed makeup and some things. So she hasn't been quite as good as she thought she would be, but you know what? At least she's given it the old college try, right? She thought about it and she's consciously making that decision, and good for her. I will say I'm not a big Goodwill fan. It's turned into this big mega conglomeration, which I'm just trying to figure out, like, how did that even happen? But we have them on. We literally have Goodwills on almost every corner. We have one here in the compound. In just about every place you drive, literally right down the street, there's another one. I mean, probably I have as many Goodwills as I do quilt shops or other stores. I mean, and you got regular department stores that can't make it anymore, but yet Goodwill's popping up in all these areas, and it just seems funny to me. Um, Someone was able to convince and build an entire business model on people um, donating the products that you sell are all received through donations and all the markups, and I don't know, it just seems wild to me. All right, I want to do this one here, this here. Zaza says life's too short, Sally, so I buy fabric. I know it's good for you. I broke that promise in January. Look at her. Sorry, just trying to catch up. Wonder where Giovanni is. Tell you what. Oh, no shop hops in Scotland. She said there's just not enough folks there, or enough shops there. How sad as that, right? Tell you what, I can't imagine doing without some of my local shops anymore. I just enjoy going in. The problem is if I go in, I usually find something that I can't live without. But I do just enjoy the adventure of looking for whatever it is, right? So I don't know. All right, sorry guys. I'm distracted because I'm trying to figure out what other fabric I want to put here and I can't figure it out. It's nothing's jumping out at me at the moment. But maybe these two will be okay. Uh, some of these are so much alike that it's like, how did I separate, how did I even get you separated into that pile? But I don't know. I think we'll just do this one, which is really not what I wanted to do. And it's funny, you spend so much time, it's like, okay, you're spending way too much time on a quilt that's supposed to be pretty simple. The whole point, right? Oh, hey, it's Christmas in July. Let's see. I'm making a list of fabric projects I want to do. Brian says they're irresistible, most of them. Yes, right? I like that. Sally says I buy bolts of background fabrics. That's what I've started doing. Makes it so much easier. Zaza says Katie's gonna be busy. She has 3 tours to do. I am no, I don't do chain piecing, and I'm sitting here deciding as I work through it, Sally, which ones what I want where. And so that's why it's taking me a little time. And then you see I get distracted because it's like I want to talk and I want to do this. And I probably could have done a little bit better job separating the colors out than I did, but it is what it is. I do like the way this is turning out. It's just not quite the Halloween that I thought it would be, but that's okay too. Still make a cute quilt for someone. And other people aren't near as picky as we are sometimes. And I can't have everything that just pops off the page, right? So some people like something a little calmer than I do because, once you found Tula Pink and start down that road, I mean, there's like no turning back. You know what I mean? Ina says she made 2 tumblers. You go, girl. Somebody just made a tumbler quilt. It came out really nice. Yeah, and sad thing is, I cut that tumbler quilt like a year ago. And so I had just bought the die. And so I cut that out. And then I realized too that I bought the small die and I wish I'd bought the larger one. But it's fine. It'll be what it is. But um, I don't know. I got it cut out, got it sitting there, and then decided, uh, I'll get to it someday. That's the problem because some days I feel like I just cut and cut and cut. And then it's like, okay, you got all this stuff cut out. You need to actually work on something. And I end up not working on stuff. Like today, I went back because I happened to see that video. And I knew right away in my stash that I wanted to use that Rudolph fabric. And that I thought, like that'll be so perfect with that pattern, blah, blah, blah. And I think it will be, but it's like, okay, you already have all these other quilts cut and sitting here. So it's not like you really needed to go find another one to work on. But I did. So I will work on that. All right. So look, guys, I do think this is turning out cute. I really do like the way that looks. So, hey, it is Christmas in July, and at Christmas we get gifts. And so I actually did get in this week from Villa Rosa. It was designed by Soul, Sewl, sister for Villa Rosa Design. And it is called the Color Mittens. It is a table runner. I have yet to do it. But I thought, how cool for Christmas in July and how adorable. And you know what? I want to do some giveaways. We haven't done a giveaway any other time except during the holiday quilting bees. So let me see if I can get Nightbot to work and see if Nightbot wants to be in the right mood today because I thought it would be fun to do a few giveaways. So let's do that and let's call this. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Let's do this. That's too much to type. I don't, and you can tell I'm reaching across, right? So let's do, I think I've got three. So we'll give all three away tonight. I will get those in the mail to you this week. Fortunately, even as expensive as stamps have gotten, right? It's just gotten crazy. Um, Anyways, let's give three of these away. If you would put exclamation point Christmas, XMAS, in the chat, we'll draw three winners for that before we end up done for tonight. So, exclamation point Xmas, and we will do a few giveaways. He says, yes, I do. They are big groups too. My tours will be at Great Greenland Tannery. Tell you what, Katie's, she stays busy. She's a working, crazy lady. Mm. Oh, look at Alex. She says, I now have all the fabric recut and almost put all together for her ex-husband's quilt of valor. It should be done by Tuesday. How exciting is that? It's fun to see projects get done, right? Katie says it's fun to do with them, clearing up misinformation while educating them. They've always leave with satisfied, smiling faces. I bet. I think Katie lives off tips too, and I think she makes some pretty good tips. So that's pretty awesome. Susan says we are your family, John, and I appreciate that very, very much, Susan. It means more to me than you all realize, especially this YouTube family. It's we've been so fortunate to make the connection and have the folks that I do on here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. KD Crafts is here. Hey, KD. She said, I'm skipping the local shop hop this year. The fabric doesn't thrill me, and the stores are really spread out. Tell you what, fabric has gotten so expensive. So, but I may end up having to do a shop hop. I have not done one. And so we'll see what Brian has to say once he gets done with his, because I bet Brian would love to come back and give us a quick chat and report out on what all goodies he bought. Oh, Katie says she got yeah, you're right. It is in the 12 pack sets. You don't need this pattern. You've already got it. All right. So take one more minute. We'll finish up Xmas for the giveaway, and we will draw three winners. Brian says he will report out. See, Brian's a good guy. All right, let's see who the first giveaway winner is. Jean Mosley. Look at you go, girl. Jean, if you send me just an email with your address, I will get that mailed out this week. And I think you've won before, which is fine. I don't keep the addresses in that, so you'll definitely need to send me an email. Zaza, look at you, Zaza. So Zaza is a winner. So if you do the same thing, that would be awesome. All right, and let's do one more because I've got three to give away for Christmas in July. Dean says John is my lucky guy for sure. You're all great. I tell you what. All right, let's do one more. Why is it not letting me do one more? There it is. And Jen is a winner as well. So congrats to all three of you. And we'll do a couple of drawings next week too to end July. We're not going to do drawings every live, just so y'all know. But I thought it would be fun to kind of close out the month of July with something simple, right? It's not breaking the bank doing these. And I hope you all appreciate that and appreciate getting a new pattern. I think it's always fun. So, Jen, if you all will just send me an email this afternoon, tomorrow is fine. I will get those dropped in, posted out to you all this week. So, pretty awesome. So, always fun to get to be with you guys. Fun to be here today. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. If you are, thank you for being a subscriber. If you've been putting up with me for the last year or 2 years, thank you very much. You've really helped build this channel and helped me decide and move forward with what we want to talk about each and every week. As you know, you just never know what's going on. I actually had a guest invited today that ended up backing out because their channel's just not getting up to where they want it to be. So I ended up not getting a guest this week. But I do want to start trying to have a guest once a month or so. I need to get with Katie. We need to get together sometime soon. Danielle wants to do some things around Halloween. So we got a lot going on. So hopefully you all had an amazing weekend. You're looking forward to the week ahead. And as always, guys, until next time, happy crafting.